How's it going, YouTube? So today we got a little bit of a special review my bag, and with that being said, we're going to be reviewing the Peter McKinnon Nomatic Luma Bag. Let's see how it stacks up. So first of all, with this bag is what I would like to say is I think any of us that are in the video and photography space see a ton of advertisements around this bag on social media, even specifically like Instagram and things like that. I know it's been literally shoved down my feed. With that, I was honestly pretty excited to order the bag because I've been looking to upgrade, because currently I'm in a little bit more of like a sling situation, a little bit smaller, you know, just holds just really my camera body, my lens, and then maybe a few ND filters. But what I was looking for is more something that can fit my drone, the controller, specifically even my gimbal, potentially a tripod, and a slew of other things. So I was looking for a little bit more of a smaller petite bag that was able to fit almost virtually the majority of my gear for the most part. So more or less, I'm more of a hobbyist photographer and videographer. I really just do it for fun. Recently started to upload videos to YouTube. And so I'm just looking for a bag that can do a little bit of everything, almost like a one-trick pony, if you will. So I was really excited when I initially placed my order because I was hoping that this bag would be able to fit all the needs that I needed out of a camera bag. So let's dive into it a little bit more, and let's go ahead and talk about what I like and things I don't like about the bag. Let's go. So diving into the bag a little bit more. So pretty much this is an 18-liter bag. Oh my gosh, let me look this up because I want to see what it is. Let me go to my Amazon account. And yes, this is an 18-liter bag, so a little bit more on the petite end as far as like a whole backpack camera bag goes. But what I really liked about this bag is just kind of like the seamless overall design initially. Some things that kind of caught me a little off guard were, I don't know what it was, maybe it was like the product video, like images that I was seeing, but I didn't think it was going to be like a canvasy material. I thought it was going to be almost like more of like a polyester, I guess, like a polyester and almost like plasticky, almost like waterproofing material on the outside. So I was a little disappointed when I got the canvas backpack, but I mean, it is what it is. It's just a backpack, so at the end of the day, it's not the biggest of deals. So another thing I really like about this bag is it's got this really cool magnetic water bottle holder on the side here. So you can use it to stash obviously your water bottle, but then also you can use it to stash more of a tripod or a gimbal situation. It's kind of what I'm using it for right now. And then as far as other like accents and you know zippers for the bag, so you do get a little bit of a side zipper for you to do some quick access with your camera body and get your camera out relatively quick. You do have almost like an attic space. I don't know the technical term for it, but you do have another zipper toward the top. So kind of opens it up like that, more of a loft style, I guess is what you can call it, but more of a loft style zipper is something that has over there. You do also get a place to go ahead and store your laptop. So if you do have a 16-inch MacBook Pro, it does have a laptop holder that's on the back part of the bag as well. And then for the main component, you want to be able to flip this bag over. There's YKK zippers throughout the entire bag, so how you go through it is you open it up. And then now you get to the main storage compartment of the bag. So it looks something a little bit more like that. So a pretty decent amount of space in the bag, and then also on the main back compartment of the bag as well. So this is going to be on the inside flap where you can harness all of your gear and get all of your gear as well. You do just have some zippers. I will say the thing that I do like about these zippers is they lay flat. So, you know, you don't have to worry about it damaging your gear. I don't know, it's hard to explain. I'll do a close up here when I'm doing some B-roll shots. But really for the zippers, it's something that I feel like confident storing in my backpack, knowing that it's not really gonna necessarily damage any of my gear. And then these pockets are nice and flexible as well. So you do get some flex to the pockets. There's no bag here. This is just, you know, the emblem and the Peter McKinnon and Nomatic symbols all. So initially looking at it, I love the bag. I thought it was super dope. Obviously didn't maybe necessarily love the canvas part of the bag as far as the outer shell goes, but I can look past that, it's not a big deal. But my big quarrel is when I finally started to put all of my gear in the bag, I was actually relatively surprised that it didn't fit. I'm using a sling style bag, and I would almost argue to say that my sling style bag fit more of my gear, more the way that I wanted it to fit, in that old bag that I'm using in comparison to how it fits in the Nomatic Luma bag. I feel like the biggest drawback to that was because it is more of a petite bag, you do lose some depth with the backpack, so you're not getting a ton of depth here. So when you are going through and like putting my DJI controller to fly my drone, it sticks out just a little bit, and even if you were to shut it, you know, you are able to shut it all the way. But it's, I don't know, it doesn't feel like it really necessarily fits. Something else I didn't necessarily love about the bag as well is on the side access pocket. Bag is shallow, so is the side access pocket. This is also going to be shallow as well. And I don't have a big camera by any means. I have a Sony ZV-E10 Mark II, and I like to carry a Rode kind of shotgun mic, and it's the very small one, so it's the Micro Go 2, I want to say. So it's relatively small as far as like length and things like that. But I can't fit this in the side sling area, so I can't access my camera. First of all, the camera doesn't even fit with the shotgun mic attached to the top of it, so I have to unscrew it from the hot shoe, you take it all apart and then store it in the bag just like that, which is fine, you know, and I'm probably just being a little bit more like picky about my selection. But I mean, when this bag costs like $220 or whatever it is, I would say you do you. You got to be picky a little bit. You're spending that much money on a bag, it better fit everything the way that you want it to fit at that price point. But yeah, so that was probably my biggest, you know, issue with the bag is it didn't fit my camera. And like I said, the ZV-E10 Mark II, it does have a small rig case on it, but it still is relatively small, all things considered. And I would have to finagle it and, you know, kind of shimmy it around to be able to get my camera out. And then if I wanted to shoot a video really quick, then I found myself having to attach all the microphone attachments. And again, it's okay, but I'm looking for something that I can almost do a run and gun shoot with and that I can access everything relatively quick with. So I didn't necessarily love it just because for that main issue of having to take the backpack off, open up, you know, the side sling, and then having to jimmy it out, almost like shimmy it out in a way, was not like the most fun experience. And I really haven't even taken this in real world either. I was more or less just kind of wearing it around the house and kind of pretending to take my camera out and, you know, accessing my gear and all that stuff, and it just wasn't a fun experience in a controlled environment. I couldn't even imagine using it maybe while traveling, maybe in a city, things like that, having to mess around with the bag and figure out what works. So yeah, I didn't necessarily love like this side aspect of the bag. Another thing, like I was mentioning, is I was looking for a bag that can fit the majority of my gear. And so with that, you know, I have my camera, I have my DJI 4 mini drone, I have the DJI controller with a screen on it as well, and just like a few other miscellaneous accessories like, you know, ND filters, lens cleaning kit, and just a few just like random things for audio and just some other stuff as well. And surprisingly, it didn't really fit in my bag. Like it did, but it was bursting at the seams, and there wasn't a good compartment to pull all of your accessories out of. It does have the loft area, like I was talking about earlier. So it's this little area, and so the loft area, when you open it up, you can also access it from the loft area, but then also when you open up the full camera backpack body, you can access it from there as well, which that's not an issue. But the loft area, because it does have like this weird, you can almost tell like this weird like angle to it. It's not a flat top, it's more of like a petite style backpack. The loft area actually doesn't hold a pretty decent amount of things. And I felt like maybe this backpack was 1 to 2 storage areas short from being perfect. I love that I can hold my laptop because the sling that I use obviously does not carry my laptop. It held my camera okay, but if you're using anything with a shotgun mic on it, or if you're using anything larger than a ZV-E10, it's just not going to really be able to hold your camera, or at least you won't be able to access it from the side as easy as you would want to. So I would say that's probably the biggest downfall there. In the loft area, like I was mentioning, you just don't get a bunch of usability for it, you know? With it being so kind of angled and a little bit more of like a shallow pocket here, you can hold a few things, maybe like a lens cleaning kit and an ND filter or two, but that's really about it. It is relatively small. And it's not like I'm trying to shove a bunch of gear in this bag. Like, yes, I'm trying to take all my gear, but I don't have like what I would deem a ton of it for a hobbyist. And so, you know, even when I'm trying to put some audio in here, like I have like a little Rode, the wireless Rode mic as well, having to fit that in here, having to fit ND filters, having to fit the lens cleaning kit, that is like already jam-packing the loft area, and you just really can't fit a lot outside of that. I like to also carry maybe a few kind of backup batteries with me, which obviously you can kind of use for this like back compartment here, but since it's such a shallow backpack, I think that's something that's not necessarily talked about, is this, with it being empty, almost fits plush and flush on top of the rest of your gear. Super flush on the top of the rest of your gear. So when you start to put some batteries in here, or for me, like I have some portable chargers for my phone, for my camera, all that stuff as well, if it protrudes out relatively thick, it's like smashing the rest of your contents in the bag. And then also, I don't love that it's adding like additional pressure to the laptop area as well, since that's on the back end of the bag as well. And so yeah, so I wanted to love it. It was so dope. I would say shout out to the marketing team for Nomatic and this Luma bag, because you guys make it look so dope. But I didn't necessarily love the bag. I felt like if I was looking for a backpack that I can just kind of take with me, you know, on my way to work, on my way just kind of out and about and things like that, it just wouldn't be ideal if I was just trying to be like a quick run and gun videographer and shoot something really quick. For me, I almost felt like this side pocket, I couldn't use it remotely whatsoever. I had to like almost get my camera out, unzipping the entire bag every single time. And I don't know about y'all, but that's a pretty big inconvenience for me, just because I just want to be able to pull out my camera really quick, maybe do a quick video, just kind of mess around with my settings, snap a few photos. So, you know, I want to access my camera really quickly. This just didn't do it for me, unfortunately. I felt like it was really inconvenient to be able to have to open up the whole bag to be able to just access my camera. As far as accessing the drone and all that other stuff, like sure, it can 100% do it, but like I said, it just didn't necessarily fit everything that I wanted to fit. So a little disappointed, just because I wanted to love this bag so much, but it just didn't fit what I wanted to use it for. And so I think what I'm going to ultimately end up doing is I want to try the PGY Tech. I want to say it's the 1MO Lite. It's a 20 liter backpack, maybe a 22 liter, so it's a little bit larger than this. But that bag, it looks like the material that I initially wanted this to be. So it looks like I'm gonna get a little bit more of like a better material, in my opinion, something that I was wanting. And then also, it has a few more storage compartments. Like I said, the storage areas are really limited in this type of a bag, mainly just being the main area of the compartment and then just the back panel compartments, because the loft, technically, sure, it is a loft zipper, but it's not like you get an additional compartment there as well, right? Something I should note is you do have a small zipper on the front end where you can put like some pair of sunglasses, but again, it's very, very shallow. It's actually right on this top seam here. Super, super shallow. Like I said, you can maybe fit like a passport, some sunglasses, things like that, but that's really it. I think I'm gonna return it and get that PGY Tech 1MO Lite, because that bag looks like it can fit way more of, you know, how I want all of my gear to fit in a bag. And even in the sense of, it has a main compartment, it has a laptop sleeve still, It has a few additional pockets on the side where you can carry batteries. There's also a battery indicator as well. So you can also mark whichever battery is dead versus charged, but you just get a little bit more to it. And then also too, something that I liked of the One Mo Lite is it does have an additional storage area towards the front, I want to say. So I should be able to kind of store my gimbal, because I do also have a gimbal, so I was looking for something that I can maybe stack my gimbal in. I have the DJI Ronin Mini 3, I want to say. So a little bit more of a smaller gimbal, but I couldn't even get it in this guy. Like if I laid it in here, it just didn't fit appropriately, and I couldn't fit any more of my gear. I could barely even fit my camera, surprisingly, just the way that the Ronin lays. So what I was bound to is either storing my Ronin in the front, because there is this quick access where you can put the foot of the Ronin or the foot of the tripod here in the bottom, and then the back has these little almost like bungee cords in a way, so you can put it on the back, which I didn't mind. It kept the form factor small and petite, but I wanted my gimbal to be a little bit more discreet, and I didn't want, I don't know, I just didn't want it on the outside of my bag for me to, I don't know, for it to fall, take some damage or whatever. I wanted something that can fit in the bag that was going to be a little bit more discreet. So yeah, that's kind of my overall take in the bag. Like I said, I wanted to love it. I thought it was super cool, but I just didn't feel like it fit my specific needs and what I was looking for. So anyways, thanks for checking out the review, guys. If you have any questions or comments, feel free to kind of drop them in the comment section down below. I would really appreciate that. And also too, if you guys have any other recommendations when it comes to a bag, let me know, because the PGY Tech, like I said, I'm gonna order it and I want to see what it's gonna look like, but I ultimately don't know if it's gonna fit my stuff as well the way that I want it to. So if you're a hobbyist videographer, a little bit of photographer as well, you like to carry an ample amount of gear with you as well, let me know what bag you guys are using. So right now I'm gonna continue to carry my sling bag, just because I feel like that carries everything the way that I want it to. And it has way more compartments. I don't know, I just feel like it kind of fits my needs a little bit more. So let me know, guys. Thanks for tuning in. I'll talk to you later. Deuces.